Okay, it has been about, what's up, squirrel? It has been about a week. They said they were going to ship it on the 1st. It did not ship until the 3rd. And then the weekend came, and then the guy didn't want to deliver it to the house, so I had to go meet him up at Redneck Beach. The reason that I got a new transmission is I was going to rebuild this. I was going to try and find a junkyard transmission and replace the top housing part that's cracked, that's got a hole in it, the other side where the release bearing is. But then when I inspected it, this side's cracked also. This piece and this piece are two different, this piece and this piece are two different pieces. So I had to replace the whole thing anyways. If I got one from a junkyard, I would have had to take the whole thing apart and replace the input shaft bearing anyways. I just took the release bearing off because I didn't know if the new one was going to come with one or not. But I figured just cry once, right? So with that being said, I wish I had that angel gift music. Ah, there is a brand new transmission. I don't want to say what I paid for it, but it was a lot. I had to save up for 2 months, and then I had to save up for 2 months, and then I had to sell some cryptocurrency to afford this. So anyways, I have some things that I have to replace from the old transmission onto the new transmission. And then the first thing I'm going to do is put the mounts on, and then we're going to install that sucker. All right, I got the front, the back, and the side mounts all attached. I'm going to slide her into place and hopefully marry her up to that new clutch in there. Wish me luck, everybody. All right, she's in there. I'm working on that motor mount right there. I have the front motor mount done already. Yeah, she's in. So there's that. But I'll bring you back in after I get all these motor mounts set up, and then I can take the board off of there so you know that it's installed properly. Allegedly. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I got that in there. There was one bolt that was really hard. It was like back in under this mount. The only way to get it tight was to put this bracket on first, but I couldn't have this bracket on first because I kept hitting the fender wall. So anyways, it's in there. I got this mount is done. This mount is done. The jack is off of it. I took the board off of it. We're good to go. We're good to go. I am going to take a break because I'm about to pass out from heat stroke. But yeah, look at that brand new transmission married up to that old junky ass motor. All right, I have gotten a little farther. I got the subframe up in place. It needs to get tightened off, but I've been working my butt off. I'm gonna leave that for tomorrow, I guess. I have the linkage hooked up. I have the slave valve, the master slave valve hooked up. I think I'm gonna leave the reverse sensor cable unplugged for now because I'm going to fill it through that with the transmission fluid. It's just going to be a lot easier to fill it here than it is off to the side there. So, well, actually it's down here. So this is higher than down there. That's the only reason. I got the heat shield back. The engine is supported under its own weight. I still have the rear mount bolts and screws to put in. But I'm going to finish that off tomorrow. So it's going really good. As you can see, it's totally supported under its own weight now. So yeah, I got to put that one bolt back in. But other than that, it's going good. We'll have this fired up probably tomorrow. Okay, it is the next day. After I ended the video last night, I wanted to see how easy or hard that CV axle was going to be to pop in, and it popped right in. So I reassembled everything, got the axle nut back on, got the brake pads back on. I got to put that shield back up, but I was going to wait before I put my cold air intake on before I screwed that shut, because I don't know if it's going to interfere or not. But basically, that is the old passenger side CV axle. Basically, I just got to go underneath and put those 3 screws on. I got to pop it in, put those 3 screws on, and then reassemble this side tire, and then the side assembly with the pitman arm and the control arm. So yeah, it's got to pop in that hole back there, and then I got to put 3 screws along the engine to hold the carrier bearing in place. But other than that, as soon as I get that done, I'm gonna be almost ready to drop it down to the ground. And then this down here is the reverse sensor. Okay, I can pop this off and fill the transmission through there. This is the fill. It's farther down. I could probably fill it through there, but I don't want to fight it. This is straight up and down. This is sideways, vertical, horizontal. This is vertical, this is horizontal. So I'm going to put it through the horizontal. I got to be careful that I don't drop anything down in there. It's a brand new transition, so nothing should go down there. I may have to bleed the slave valve. This is the slave valve. Brake fluid goes through here, pushes that, and that's what pushes the throw out bearing. It really disengages the clutch. So there's probably going to be air in here because there was no oil in here from the factory. So I'm going to have to pump the clutch and bleed these lines. But like as I said, there's no extra parts up there, so everything's good. There's only one extra part, but I don't want to explain that. It's a broken bolt. But I'm not gonna tell you where the broken bolt was from. We're just gonna go with it. But like I said, throw that CV axle down in there, reassemble the front passenger side wheel assembly, and then drop it down to the ground, throw oil into it, and then see what's up. Literally 4 hours later, and it's in. I had to take that bracket that holds the intermediate shaft bearing apart, and it was rusted solid as one piece. I had a knife, and I was able to wedge the knife in there and split it apart enough that I get some PB blaster in there that it loosened up. So it's in there finally. I'm gonna take a break because I've been going at this since 8 o'clock this morning, and now it's lunchtime. But I'm gonna get that all put back together, and we will bring you back in for the next stage. She is off the jack stands. He's happy about it. I had to bleed the master slave. I had to bleed the thing. I'm delusional right now, so I don't even know what I'm saying. So the slave cylinder, I pushed the clutch and it went straight down to the floor. So all I got to do now is finish tightening up the lug nuts, because I only hand tighten them, and then hook up the battery. I did cycle through the gears a couple times, and it did go into reverse. So that's where we're at. All right, I've been working on this for 2 days now, and crossing my fingers, I'm hoping she's done. First thing that happened is it had the bad input shaft bearing. We got it home and we found out that reverse doesn't work. So we searched online, we tried to find a new transmission. We couldn't find a used one in our price range. A transmission place in my town wouldn't fix it. So we wound up ordering a brand new transmission from Toyota. Ka-ching! While I had the transmission off, we replaced the clutch because I thought the throwout bearing or the clutch plate would have been bad. The clutch actually looked really good. While disassembling it, the driver's side CV axle was busted, so I had to order a new one of those. Got everything back together. It was a pain in the butt, but here we're going to give it a start and we're going to see if it makes any noise. Lord willing, it doesn't make any noise except for the sound of the motor. Sign. That's a good sign. All right, we're going to give it a shot. Put it in reverse and see what happens.
Take it down that hill slow.
Well, this is all back together. Something's going on with this brake caliper. It's just squeaking. I think I need to pull it out and put a little pressure on it. I was scraping going down the driveway. I wasn't sure what I was scraping on, and I've been informed that it was my exhaust. So Besides the scraping of the exhaust on the driveway and the scraping of the heat shield on the brake caliper, she's all done. Thanks for watching. It's been an adventure, that's for sure.